Hey, what's going on? Strat Soldier here for the weekend shift. I got something for you. We're gonna have a guest. I told you we are gonna start having some guests on here like we used to, you know? And we're gonna bring I'm bringing you something a little bit different than just the Strat, and that's important because there's many different ways to trade out here. And so we got a guy in here. His name's Chartz, and you've seen him before. I'm sure you have because I've retweeted some of his stuff before. He talks about trading options with opening range breakout. So we're gonna see a little bit of that here in just a second. But what I want to go through first is SPY. Now this is a recording, so why are we going through SPY right now? So you can have a little bit of context to see what's going on out here uh, in the stratosphere. Let me see here. Yep. Here's my charts. This is how I trade all four charts up just like this. This shows me time frame continuity, all right? I got the month, the week, the daily, and the 60, all right? On the month, we're still green on the month, and May is about to end. When you see this on Saturday, because this is a recording, this will be closed. So we'll be seeing how June opens. Right now, it's probably going to open up inside month, and is it going to go down or up? That's what we want to know. Right now, it's just been going two up, two up, two up, two up, two up, and people have been getting away with a lot of crazy, risky moves all through this because it just keeps going up. And then this one kind of brought back a little bit of reality check. But this candle opened up May opened up at 501 and then just continued back up to the highs. All right. So we need to see what happens at the top of the broadening formation here. Are we going to exhaust and start coming back through? Are we going to trade, regular market structure, trade goes sideways and then down, or are we going to keep expanding to the upside? All right. That's what we want to see. That's the month right now. The week, we are now two down on the week. Today was pretty brutal. Today's Thursday, May 30th. Today, 2-2 reversal back down. Pretty brutal. All right. We were inside week most of the week, and then they brought it down. Finally, two down. What I really want you to notice here is on the daily chart, we are finally outside of this scenario 3. All right. This is important. We call this a mother bar. Why? Because he had this big range, and then after this bar right here had all his little babies. All right. Here's this one, tiny little inside day, another tiny little inside day. This one in here, that's 3 days. And we talked about this on Twitter because we didn't want to get stuck in this range. This is a 2 down. Now, for a lot of you guys out there, this wasn't fun. If you did not know how to trade this, this was not fun. You did have a shooter that warned you this could happen. But you had some economic data come out this morning, and then, we open up 2 down and into the lows, all right? I want to tell you that what is good about this is that we're outside of this scenario 3. So we took out the lows here. Now, what we want to see tomorrow is do we continue low? Do we continue to expand down, or do we get good data in the morning about inflation and we possibly gap up, or this thing goes right back through this range? All right. So what we do know with this broadening formation, what we're looking for all the time: test the highs, test the lows, test the highs, test the lows. All right. Test the highs, back down to lows. Is it going to keep, again, are we going to keep expanding down, or is this thing going to go right back into this range and right back up? So it's been crazy. It's been a mess. We want to be careful. That's what we want to do. And when things start getting sideways and kind of choppy and messy, there's always a different way to trade. And that's why I brought Chartz on here today so we can show us something different, something new that we could probably use or put in our toolkit to use next time. So if you can hear me out there, Chartz, go ahead and Mr. Opening Price, go ahead and unmute your screen there. What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Happy to be here.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. I'm happy you came on. You're not camera shy. I love that.
No, I'm not camera shy at all. If you know me on Twitter, I know you just seen me driving in the van and trading at work and different things. So, I'm very active in front of the camera. So I appreciate you calling me on also, you know. And that's a very interesting analysis, what you just showed me. I understand the strat, I understand the combos, right? But the broadening formations and things like that, that's gonna take a little bit more studying, you know.
That's
So
all good. That's all good. But you definitely understand some of it. And
Yeah,
because I've seen your trade, you know what you're doing. And one thing that got me at least noticing you on your two things, not just your gains, you know what I mean? That's one thing. But then you're in a truck, you know what I mean? You're obviously at work. You're doing, you know what I mean? Okay, what's this guy doing? He's I don't want to get you in trouble, but trading at work. I don't want, I don't want,
no, you good. You good.
don't
I'm
let
an
nobody
independent
see this at work.
contractor, you know,
They
so
But so what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people that are not day traders, and or they do have a 9 to 5, and but you're showing that you can still have a day job and do this and be successful at it, and that
definitely,
caught my eye.
definitely. I think what you should do if you really go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, get a doctor's note saying that you have stomach issues or something, and you got to get you a good 30 minutes, man, to go in there and just get it in, you know.
There you go.
So
Whatever works.
I'm if I'm in the warehouse trading, I used to be in the warehouse trading, and there was a lot of activity going on. I would set alerts.
Okay.
I would chart on my way, pull up, chart, get my levels together, and I would set my alerts. So I got the Bluetooth in my ear. So when I get that notification, boom, I'm trading you, I'm taking off. You know, I'm taking off. And so that that's another reason why long-term trading and staying in the trade a long time, it
Hmm.
doesn't really work for my schedule, for my
Hmm.
style. Everything I do is based or built around my style, which
I
is
like that.
convenient for me,
Hmm.
you know. So I don't have the luxury of standing the trade too long, you know. So I like to get in and get out. So that's really what my style is about. But I've also learned how to take multiple trades in one trading session.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's just what it is, you know. So, I love to share my charts with you and show you just what I do, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
And
and but right before we do that, I like how you said you two things. You have a style that works for you, because I always talk about that. And with the Strat, we talk about the Strat customizes itself to you. I got this big tank back here because I'm a tank. Most people are, you sound like a sniper. Sniper's in there quiet. He's in there. Bam, they take the shot. And they make money. One shot, one kill. They good. Or and you got the grunts, the guys running around on the field. You do some of that too. You're running around, you making trades,
yeah,
you're going this way, you're going that way. But I'm a tank. I'm big and slow, and I want to be in that sucker as long as possible until it doesn't work no more. And then I'm picking up and moving on to another position. So I like this for my side, I like to trade common shares and stay in something until, okay, they ain't buying this thing no more and it's time to move out. So that's awesome that you pick something that works for you in and out. That's very cool. I like that. Very cool.
I when I first started, when I was first introduced to trading, I started following. I learned Gerald Peter style. This when I was trading with indicators, 5 to 10 to 20 and the 200, and I used to swing trade options. I used to
Mm,
swing trade options, right?
mhm.
And And then I realized that he wasn't swing trading options. He was he was trading shares.
Mhm.
So I tried to trade shares, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It took too long. It took too
I
long.
wasn't expecting that.
It took too long, right? And this is the
Yeah.
coldest part about it. As soon as I killed the trade, somebody would hit me and say, "You still got that 150 shares of Lucid or whatever," and it would break out. I would miss
Oh,
the move
okay.
tremendously. So I was like, oh my God. So um I realized that I was putting up a lot of money at the time,
Mhm.
and 2021 was an excellent year for that. I
Mhm.
couldn't miss. 2020,
Yeah.
I couldn't miss. It didn't care what I didn't care what I was doing. I couldn't miss, right? And it gave me a false sense of knowing how to trade when
Mm.
I went into 2022.
Mhm. Yeah, because everything
That,
went back to the
that was
lows.
scary.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
was scary. And I was putting on a lot of size at that time. I wouldn't put a trade on no less than $10,000. I was putting on
Wow.
a lot of size. I'm buying 200 shares, 150 shares of out of the money spy contracts. You know, this
Hmm.
is moving. I'm hitting it quick and getting up out of there. But when 2022 came, I remember I put on a trade and I got clapped. I got hit hard. And I was like, my mind said, you didn't put on enough size. That's why you lost. So
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
my mind told me. My mind said, you didn't put on enough size. That's why you lost. Right. So I tried it again and I got shattered again. And so at this time I had about 80,000 in my trading account because I just lost two big trades. And
Yeah.
so somebody said, put on less size. They said something's going on in the market. You got to put on less size. So what I did was I said, I know I'm not going to do that. So I withdrew all the money and left about $500 in my account, right?
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I
All
was
right.
I
You took
was
the money out of
scared.
your account. Okay.
I
Okay.
took the That's how I protected me.
That's
I
smart.
just took I just took two losses, two huge losses,
Hmm.
right? And I had to protect me. So the only way I could do it is I had to withdraw all the money. But now at this time, I still want to trade.
Hmm.
Now I'm like, okay, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, why do I need a large account to make money? If I really know how to trade or I want to learn how to trade, I should be able to take a small amount and grow it.
Mm. Hmm. I've seen those posts too. So yeah, you're getting in you're okay, getting into it. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So that's what happened to me. So I said I need to take a small amount and learn how to grow it. And that's when I started buying books. I started reading. I started YouTube, and then I started. I was in a couple of discords at the time, and I got out the discords. Right, no offense to the discords, no disrespect. Got a lot of partners in discords. Love them as traders, good people. Can call them right now. I had to bag out the discord because when it comes to trading, I believe in smaller classrooms
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
can get the attention that I need, where I can ask you, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
so I was, I had 130,000 in my trading account, but I couldn't tell you how a candle opened or closed.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, I was, as long as price doesn't go under this 20 EMA, I'm staying in the trade.
Wow. Wow. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Exactly.
because yeah, when you're trading indicators like that, they don't the candles kind of don't matter, so to speak, so to
Exactly.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it gives you, it really gives you a, and then we had those trending days, and I didn't know what a trending day was. I didn't know nothing about days. And when I would have a trending day, I really thought I was, I was, you know what I'm saying? I really thought I knew what I was doing, but it gave me a false sense of knowing how to trade.
Hmm.
And so when I took the losses and I withdrew all the money from my account and I broke it down to the bare minimum and got into my academic bag when it comes to trading,
Hmm.
everybody want to get into the financial bag when it comes to trade. You got to get into the academic bag. So when I got into the academic bag and started asking the right questions and
Hmm.
researching, I realized that a lot of it was almost like the blind leading the blind
Mm.
because we all were introduced, the people I know, we were all introduced to options in 2020. We had no background in financial literacy. We didn't know nothing about the market. We didn't understand this buying and sell it. We didn't understand it.
Right.
We
It was just every stocks just go up. That's what it was. I remember.
That's what
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was like, it was to us that were introduced to the options game or market. It was like, this is the new hustle. This is the new crack cocaine. This is the new, this how it was sold.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah.
It
It
was
is.
sold
It
more.
is still that way. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's more like this. It's like I get DMs periodically, say Chartz, man, I'm trying to flip this 500.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, he think we on the block. He think, he think we on the block. I'm like, no, it don't work like that. But
Hmm.
that's
I
how
would
it was
say
introduced to us.
Yeah, I would say I'm starting there we all know about because you did go the academic way, you know what I mean? You started learning that. So but then there's people that just go straight from the books and then they go into trading and then they get to a point where psychology is turns and now psychology is a whole nother thing. Like I have to have the I'm going to say testicular fortitude to stay in this trade. Like I have to have the guts to be in this thing and stay in this thing and trust myself. When you have a person that says, "I just want to flip this 500," they already have that mindset. So there's a little there's a for all those people out there that have that. Not necessarily. I'm not talking about gambler's mentality. I'm saying you have that. You have the guts to okay. We're getting in this thing. I have a positive mindset that this thing is going to go where I need it to go, so I can take money out of the market that that psychology is very valuable and if you can start with that but then put some smarts behind it what sounds like what you did it'll come together because whether you start with the strong psychology and then lead into actually learning how to trade um, or vice versa you start with just the books and then develop that strong psychology later on that psychology is in there it's very important it's very important you can't especially about how you trade or anybody trades right now um you can't just throw on some money and just be scared the whole time you can't you're not going to make any money and then or you're going to be your nerves are going to be wrecked all the time you're not going to trust yourself that's what I'm trying to get at you're not going to trust yourself at all so I think that's very valuable what you're saying too though
Well, I do believe this, right? I
hmm
do believe that there's no such thing as emotionless trading. I
right
do believe this. I
yeah
do believe that if you put on enough size, them candles can, they could exactly. You put on enough size, whoa, it'll have you feeling some kind of way,
hmm
So
yeah
it's but so the reason I'm able to be consistent as I am, like I'll hit, man. I hit you for 8 out of 10 trades. I'm that consistent, and the reason being is because I'm trading my 5 contracts, 10 contracts. That's nothing. I used to put on 250 contracts.
jeez man wow
So, and once this dawned on me, my mentor told me, he said, it's not where that candle goes, it's where it closes. And
okay
it took me a long time to understand that. And I would get shook out of a trade based on the wick.
hmm
And then once I understood candlestick anatomy, I was like, it wick, but it didn't close. So it
hmm
shook everybody else and boom, broke
yeah
out to the
yeah
so
I've seen
it's
that
not where it go, it's where it close. So that's what I preach to people. I mean, it's not where it go. You know what I'm saying? It's where it close. That's one of
right
the most that's one of my primary rules. That might be rule number one.
okay
That might be rule number one. And the reason that that rule is so important is because I've seen so many people get shaken out of good trades that they shouldn't have.
hmm hmm
You know, so like I might be on Twitter and I might say something like, or X, I might say something like, uh, getting in at 526. That's my entry. If price breaks this level, I'm getting in at 526, right? And I'll get in at 526, and somebody might be following me. And then they'll say, I lost that trade. And I'm like, how?
hmm
They'll screenshot it. And I'll be like, oh, that's the candle that got you out. So that candle, it went down. It went down. It broke
hmm
the level, but it didn't close below the level, and it shook them out the trade.
Ah, so like it created a hammer or it just went doing straight down and right back up. Yep.
Straight down, back up, almost
Hmm.
like an FOMC type day, but just not on that
Okay.
scale,
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it happens every day.
Hmm.
And I I get it. For me to really understand how price moved, I lost $800 intentionally one day because I put the money, I was scared. I
Hmm.
kept getting into trades and I would get out and I was killing them. You know, they say cut them quick if they're a loser, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a losing trade. It's just a slight retracement.
Hmm. Okay.
It's a slight retracement. I didn't know that I was a novice still. So I put $800, had an $800 trade on, and I just sat back and I said, I'm just gonna watch it run. And so I let it run up, run down, run back up, and I could have took profits, and I just want to watch it. And so I ended up losing the trade. But I said, "Oh, this is how it works." So I developed a more intimate relationship with the candles.
Yeah. All right. Let's take that. Let's use that. I like that. Let's use that let's get to some charts. I like that. Let's use
All
that
right, for
right there.
sure. So
Use that
and
as a
so
segue.
so yeah, and so I have a abstract way of seeing the charts. You know, it's something that everybody can understand, but it's when I say it's abstract, is that I stock price action. I stalk spy.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's that
I, I
sniper thing I was talking about.
I need to know where you at, what you doing at all times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'll share my chart with you. Let me see. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, what you're saying very important, and I like that. That's a good quote. It's not where it goes; it's where it closes.
Where it closes.
And if you got some style, you can say that in just the way where it rhymes. I like it. I like.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see my
Yep,
chart right
got
there.
it. Yep, looks good.
Okay. So I chose the ORB, the opening range breakout, because it just worked for me. And the reason why is because I was really good. I got really good at scalping. So no matter how price action moves that day, I'm gonna make some money. And if I don't make some money, I'm gonna lose 20, $30. I'm gonna lose an amount that's so small that I felt like I didn't trade.
I like that. I like that. That makes sense.
So
Small
if
losses.
yeah, and I had to get to a point because I remember when I was taking big losses. She wasn't my wife at the time, but I was having some rough days, and I'm taking out my frustration on her.
Hmm.
I'm blaming it on the neighbor's dog barking too loud. I'm anything except for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Anything except for me. And so I also realized that I was buying, I was buying the wrong contracts.
Okay.
So I was buying the wrong contracts. So I tell people, and this is a controversial issue, and I'm not gonna say it like it's a big issue, but I go back and forth with traders I know about what I call the menu. I call the option chain a menu. So I go back and forth because I tell them, look, you guys are teaching to buy these out of the money contracts. What if price ranges all day long?
Right.
What
Yeah.
happens to the trader?
You're getting killed because your homeboy Theta is taking all your prime all the money.
Exactly.
Yep, all the premium. You got and then you got Gamma and Vega and everything else. Yeah. Hmm.
So can you imagine? So can you imagine trading? Can you imagine trading Strat and it's in a range and it's just a line of one candles?
Oh, we wouldn't honestly in that type of situation. We're like, don't touch it, don't touch it, get out, just get out.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But we've been conditioned to be day traders. I'm a
Hmm.
day trader. I got to trade every day.
Yeah.
So that means you condition yourself to get in the market and participate in the buying and selling process every day. But every day is not about buying and selling. Sometimes you got to say, hey, this I got to wait on my setup. You
Yeah.
know, I got to wait on this. I just can't. It's like going to the supermarket. You ever been inside the supermarket and you look at the fruit selection and you're like, this ain't right.
No.
The
Yeah.
fruit isn't right.
You're
That
right.
means so in trading, I mean the setup isn't here. You know
You
what I'm
don't even
saying?
Yeah, yeah. You go in the grocery store, you don't have to pick them up. You can just look at the bananas and go, all them bananas green. I ain't, nope.
Exactly. But people won't do that when it comes to trading.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it.
Oh, we choppy today. We choppy, but guess what? I'm a day trader. I gotta trade this.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
Yeah.
trade this. And
Yeah.
it's an addiction to pushing buttons.
Yeah. And on top of that, it's on your phone too. So I mean that's
Oh,
two separate addictions. On your
exactly.
phone and then just always pushing buttons. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's I'm not gonna lie to you. One successful trade will have you hooked.
Mm-hmm.
If one make $300-400 on the day the price is trending,
Yeah.
you're hooked if you're an options trader.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that, oh, this can be done because I made some money.
I did it.
Also,
Yeah, I did it today. That means I could probably do it tomorrow. And if I could do it tomorrow,
exactly.
you know,
And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chartz only graduated from high school. I got a master's degree. I'm smarter than him. So I know if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's how it works. You see other people doing it and you start to compare yourself to their intellect and different things. Say, I'm a smart guy. I'm a
Yeah.
smart woman. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I can do this. I just made $400.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it's like going to McDonald's getting a Happy Meal. But on Monday, you go in there, you pull out a Tonka truck. You go in there on Tuesday, you get a spoon. You go in there on Wednesday, you get a sucker.
You pulling out other stuff out of the
On
Happy Meal, like, wait a
Thursday,
minute, what is
right?
this?
Thursday, you get a lollipop, and on Friday, you get a rotten apple.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Every day the market can be somewhat different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's
So
we were talking about that right before the show started, before we
exactly,
started doing this. It's that there's that predictability of that probability that this is what we're looking for, but then there's that variety, just like that anything can happen. And just like today,
that's
we
true.
uh we gapped down, like I showed you on Spy for honestly for no reason. There was no reason why we gapped down like that, but the market didn't like data, and we got the PFE inflation report in the morning, and it could be 2 points in one direction than the other, and the whole market gaps up again for no reason, and that's that variety that is makes trading fun, but also you got to be careful why and how it's, you know what I mean? You got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, trading is there's nothing else like it. It's the I mean, it's a coin. It's really a coin.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that a trader should never, because it's just learn how to take a loss. I don't want to learn how to take a loss. I like the high of winning.
Yeah.
That's why I take it
Yes.
so serious,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I take it so serious. But I don't mean to digress and ramble, but this is interesting. But yeah, this is my chart, and the reason that I chose the ORB is because it gave me a firm set of rules to follow every day.
Mm-hmm. Good.
A trader without any rules is an inconsistent trader. You're unprofitable. You're not
Yeah, you're a
profitable.
gambler. Gambler. You got no rules. You're just gambling.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I realized that. And so once I understood where to buy and where to sell and what's a high probability trade to me based on my rules,
Hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said on my chart, the first thing I do in the morning is I draw. You're not gonna see it on here. This is a little bit faster. I'm able to kind of like see it a little better now. But I got I like to know where all the selling pressure is at on the chart, and I like to know where all the buying is at.
Okay.
And so I'm really just a great support and resistance trader. And so when I say that I buy with the buyers and I sell with the sellers, I mean that literally.
Hmm.
You see on my chart,
Yep.
we're selling, the selling, the selling. Nice resistance at 527.37. On this day, we traded in the range. I got the opening price right here. I can
Mhm.
look at this and tell we break this, I'm going long.
Okay.
You
All right.
know, so that's what I mean. So I look at the opening right here. We break it, I'm going short. And if there's notations right here, support broken again, I'm going short. I'm going
Mhm.
short. So I just follow what price action is doing. I follow SPY every day. So this is today's chart. This is where we opened at right here.
Mhm.
We opened right here.
And these are 7-minute charts again? Mhm.
This is a 7-minute chart
Okay.
right here. But when
Okay.
I start the session off, I always go to the 30-minute
Okay.
because
All right. Good point.
I
Okay,
give,
good.
yeah, as
Mhm.
soon as I start the session, I don't trade the first 30 minutes. First 30 minutes is because when I have one-on-ones with people, I like to explain to them the three phases of a trading day. And you got that opening. That's a phase of the trading day. And that's when institutions are selling and buying, and that's when people are taking profits. And that's the time
Yep.
where the market is undersized. You get clapped.
It's this battleground back here. That's why I got this battleground
Yeah,
background.
that's
Yep.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
People are making money. The stuff that gapped up, the people that they made their money, they're
yeah,
trying to sell it. The people that they gapped down, they got what they wanted. They're trying to cover or they're buying so it can, you know what I mean, so they can get out of their short covering. I would say they're buying so they can get out of their cover. Anyway, I'm sorry. But
I know what you're saying.
they're buying and
But it's
they're getting out of their shorts to buying to cover their shorts. But anyway, everybody's doing everything all at once right at the bell. Yeah, so I always
it's
say the first
chaos.
15 minutes, but yeah, third I like that as well. The first 30, yeah, because it could go, you'll see stuff that what did Tesla do today? Tesla went it started right out of the gate all the way to the highs. I mean, huge range up to the highs. Very next hour opens almost all the way back down to where it started. I mean, it's I mean those are 2-hour candles, so it's a little different. But those people that thought this thing is going all day long, in the
Yeah.
next 30 minutes, it's going right back to where it was and even lower. Like,
So the opening, the opening, it for me, it sets the tone for the day.
Okay.
It lets me know what's going on. So there's three levels: pre-market high,
Yep.
pre-market low, the opening price.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my most important levels. That's just what it is, right? If you break above the pre-market high and you hold that level and you retest it, high probability setup, I'm going to the upside. I'm going long. And
Mm-hmm.
if I lose that, I can take, that's my trade. I can take that. I can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we come down, we break below the pre-market low, I get a retest, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna hit it hard. If I lose that, I can take that loss. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 8 times out of 10 is favorable. I do not chase price action anymore. I do not play breakouts. I don't play breakouts. Lost too many times like that. And so the reason that I like to use a 30 is because when you understand candlestick anatomy, if we're bearish, first thing that happens is price action, it got established that high. So on the 30, when it's established, it opens and it's establishing that high, people on the 5 entering calls. They chasing that wick to the upside that I'm seeing on the 30. And then once it comes back down and start to expand to create its low, they clap. I know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
gives me some insight. So, I've been taught that these candles, it's a voting system. It's the majority win.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a majority win. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I look at it. So I look like if the 30-minute, let's just say it's 1,000 participants on that time frame. The
Mm-hmm.
5-minute, it might be 200. I'm going with the majority.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever they tell me, that's what I'm going with. And so I understand how I was taught, and I practice this to this day, that there's actually 6 types of trade days, but I just go with the 3 basics. You got the trending day, you got the
Hmm.
test and retest, and you got the narrow range day. So, however, price is acting on this day, I can take multiple trades. So I know if this is the open right here
Hmm.
and we shoot up, okay, cool, we having a trending day. I'm not gonna miss. We come down, we test this area. When we hit a low and we still got 5 or 4 hours left of trading session, I know we gonna bounce
Okay, why is that? I'm gonna
because
say
we
why is
have
that?
so much.
Because I would say so because I'm looking at your chart. So go back to the beginning of the okay, so we go back
Okay,
to we go up, we
it's
hit
the open.
we hit resistance, we start coming down.
Boom,
We got a
come
shooter,
down
we start coming down. Now you're going short at this time, and you're still waiting. Like
on this trade right here.
in this situation, yeah, right at the beginning. Are
Okay,
you? Is
I'm
that
gonna tell
that
you
first
exactly
30
what I did
minutes?
today. I'm gonna tell you
Okay,
exactly what I did today. I waited.
okay.
Price came up. I waited.
Mm-hmm.
When this candle right here opened, I took it from here to here. I was out of there.
Nice. Okay.
I was out of there. Could I stay till it got here? Yes. But I
Mm-hmm.
was taught that the only thing that could take out a seller is a buyer. So when I looked over here to the left and I see we had some buying over here, I'm like, okay, some buyers over here. They could potentially, it could bounce from this area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's my logic. So we can bounce from this area. We can bounce from here. So I took it to here. I was fine with that. I was okay. And you have to remember, I'm trading with a small account.
Mm-hmm.
So, and most people would have had 522s on their puts. I had 524s. I was one in the money
Yeah, I
because
heard you. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because I seen your post on this, and that made me start thinking about some stuff. Because delta, we talk about delta, and usually talk about delta between a 4.4 and a point 5. Now, when you're going, and I also got taught trading options. You go to even like a point 7 delta, like a high delta. Now you're going a $1 or $2 in the money, or at least on the
exactly.
menu
But
in the
but
money. Yeah, go ahead.
let me explain my rationale,
Okay,
right?
okay. I like it. I like it.
Check it out. Let's just say that I'm out of the money, right?
Hmm.
When price hits this level right here, this wicks up so fast. By the time you place your order and they sell it, you done pretty much lost a lot of your profits.
Yeah.
If
Hmm.
you stay in this trade, if you stay in this trade, you lose a lot of your profits before it come back up here and go back down.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
what that does is by me going a little deeper in the money, I don't get as paid as much as everybody else, but this protects against theta.
Okay.
It don't erode my contracts as fast as other people that's out of the money contracts will be eroded.
Hmm.
So what this
Okay.
does is it allows me to get out the trade with less of a loss also, because if I got 10 contracts and I go market order, they all don't sell all at once. I might have 5 might get sold, 3 and then 2.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's why when people be like, man, E-Trade robbed me for $40 today. And I'm like, no, that's not what happened. You had 6 contracts, they sold 3, and price was still moving against you, and then they sold the other 3. So that's how the loss came about.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's why I play the menu like that. And it just works for me.
I like
It
it.
works for me because you got to remember, I'm the small account GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Um, when I withdrew that money and had that small account, my partner Candace, who was on the phone, and so I said, man, I got clapped, I got hit. So I only had $100 left in the account, right? And so I took that 100 to 5,000
Wow.
and I withdrew it.
Yeah.
And it was like I had the $100, and he was like, "What you trying to make tomorrow?" And I was like, "Man, I just want to make 110. I just want to make $10." Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why?" I said, "'Cause I know I can do that." So when it comes to these small accounts, I'm giving myself small, achievable goals that I know I know I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And then when I do
Mhm.
more, I just overachieve. So the feeling is even greater, even though it's nothing to somebody that did made $500-600, right? But
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, bro, you ain't trading until you ain't got nothing in your brokerage, but a little bit, and can you grow it? So he told me, he said, "You got lucky." I said, "You think so?" So I started 350 the next time,
Uh-huh.
took it to 8,000. You can go on my Twitter right now. Go
Yeah.
back to March of last year. I think I started with $466 and I took it to 10,000. It's documented on Twitter. And I
I'm
was withdrawing money. I was withdrawing money at the same time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been watching you post. Like I said, I've been watching you, and I've seen you do that, and it makes sense. It makes sense um, because number one, you have to manage your risk. You have to manage your risk, and like you said at the beginning of the interview, beginning of the show, if you have a large amount in your account, you're privy to get yourself caught up in over trading and even over leveraging because you're like, okay, I messed this trade up, but I know I can make it back if I do all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So
And, and
and it's happened to everybody. It's happened to me before too. You're like, okay, I got to make this up. I mean, I think that's one of the how do you not get caught up in that idea of I got to make this up?
um, I done got whooped too many times in the past. I got tired of getting mad.
There you
Who want to
go.
be
There you go.
mad?
Okay, okay.
Listen, who want to be mad over something that they enjoy?
Right. Yeah.
Listen, if you enjoy playing Monopoly, learn how to play it the right way so you don't be mad at a game that you love playing. You know what I'm saying? So
All right, I never heard that before. I like that. That's
yeah.
good.
So listen, so when people be like, "Chartz, man, I'm struggling with this, that, and the other," man, they be like, what advice do you got for me? I'd be like, "You ain't tired of losing yet. You ain't tired yet. You feel like you got a few more days of this in you. I don't have that in.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I like it.
um,
Hmm.
when I tell people, I say, man, I've taken thousands of trades. They be like, that sounds unrealistic. But you gotta think, I've been trading 4 years now, and on certain days, I was taking 3 to 4 trades a day.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I was, man, oh my goodness. I was trading. I was addicted to pushing buttons and withdrawing money, and it was cool. And so my thing is this, to be honest with you, right? I don't care nothing about unrealized gains. The market will take that from you
Hmm.
tomorrow or the next
Yeah,
day. It
yeah,
ain't realized till it's in your account.
yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
true.
I didn't pay it off cars, mortgages. I didn't did some things through trade that that's why I ain't going nowhere. I'm here to stay. Like I know the power of trade. I understand what it can do. I really do. This is, man, trading outside from God and family. It's like, man, there's nothing else better than it.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you, man. Just the and then I love the people that you meet that are trade. It takes a certain type of person to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be a cop, but it takes a hell of a person to be a trader.
Yeah, yeah, because
Think about
yeah, that one person putting themselves on the line every day. Yeah, or I'm gonna say, if you're not, just put yourself in the market and with your own money, real money. It takes a lot. It does take a lot.
it takes a hell of a lot because there's times where you lose and you feel like it's easier to accept somebody dying than it is to accept that loss. So it takes an exceptional, you feel me?
Oh, I would be so extreme. Yeah, but yes, I know what you mean because
But
because because it's all on you though. Because
yeah,
I can't control the fact that this happened, I can't control that these other things happened out here. And even in the market, you can't control where the candles are going to go. You can't control it because the market, the only responsibility it has is to show you the data. The only responsibility the market has is show you what the price is right now. And I hope you bought real-time data to get that too. But
Yeah.
but so even then you don't have control of that either, but you do have control over where you buy, where you sell, and how you manage that trade. And when it goes
Agree.
good, yes, it feels amazing. And when it doesn't go well, and hopefully you broke even or you took a small loss, but if you took that large loss, you are, like you said, you're the rest of the day you're like, man, I should have put in that hard stop. Or I should have just took the $36 loss instead of letting it get to 200. You know what I mean? I should have just did that, and it because you're the one making those decisions, and I think that's
Well,
that's the that's the best thing and also the worst thing about trading. It is on you.
it's man, you're self-employed, and this
Yeah,
is your business. And a lot
yeah.
of people don't understand that. You have
Hmm.
to run it like a business and
Yep.
manage things accordingly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You have to manage these trades. That's what people don't understand. And the hardest thing to do when you believe that you are smart is cut a trade. Because no, that thing should have went this way. It's supposed to
Yeah.
do this because oh no,
Yeah. What's
biggest thing.
happening right now? Yep. So yeah, get
Exactly.
back to this ORB because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to.
But
Because you're saying some good things in here, and
yeah, but the ORB, listen, it just gave me it gave me a framework, it gave me a set of rules to follow every day. So when I wake up, I can wake up 5 minutes. I don't have to be up all night. 5 minutes before the market open, I can draw my pre-market high, my pre-market low. I wait for 6:30 California time. Boom, I draw my opening. As you can see, I'm always watching. I'm annotating on the chart where the sellers are, what was once support, which is now resistance, or vice versa. I know where that's at. I look left. I'm seeing what's going on. Um, on the 30-minute, I'm not trading the first 30 minutes. I want to see who's going to control the session.
right. Okay. So
And
yeah,
if we
yeah,
can take,
yeah. You're right. So and then you drop down to the 7 minute. Is that what you're
I
doing?
drop
Right.
down to the 7 and I
Hmm.
hit you. And a lot of people say, "Oh, that's not a big enough time frame." I'm like, have a 7 minute candle ever went against you?
That's the 7 minutes of pain, boy. Woo.
Yeah, that's the most pain you experience in your life in 7 minutes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's that's all I need. I don't want to be in a trade all day. I'm just being honest with you. I need about 7 minutes to get to my money.
Hmm.
And that's my logic.
So yeah, so this first shooter that went down, you took it all the way down to that resistance support there right there, and
Once it
then
got here,
you're done. Just take it. Yeah.
boom, I see we could potentially bounce right here.
Hmm.
I was out to trade.
Because I like that. I like that because you're looking left to see, okay, where did they buy before? Because that's exactly what they did. They bought it. They bought it back again at 523.35. Took it back up.
Yeah,
Took it right back down to 522,
yeah.
and then
And you
and
see,
then
we got back up here. What they
yep,
do? They bought
five
it back up.
same area,
Same
523.
thing.
So did you go long on that? No.
No, no. I
Okay.
took one trade because after I withdrew the money last week from my account, I gutted the account again. So I started on Monday with 563. So right now the account is at 9 and some change. But I told myself I only want to start it. I want to start next week with a fresh $800 account. So I've overachieved so I can get an extra contract, you know. But,
I like that.
um,
So here's two things. I'm starting to see trading in two different ways. And this is my personal experience. I'm starting to see trades. You got traders where they want to get to a target point. Here's my target. This is where I want the candles to go before I take profit. And then you got a whole nother set of traders that go, okay, I'm trying to make $100. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make 100, $200. That's my goal. Uh,
well,
what's your style? Are
okay.
you looking for a certain to take a certain amount of money out of the market, or are you trying to get once it gets to this level, no matter what it is, and taking that's what I'm taking?
I trade options for income. I trade options as if it's another job. On Friday, I want to take some profits. That's
Hmm.
how I look at the market. I don't care.
Okay.
I look at it to supplement income.
Hmm.
This is you got to pay taxes on this.
Yeah, you do. Yes.
So therefore, this is income. This is active income. I work for this. It's mental work, but I work for it. So I need to be rewarded. I'm not really crazy about having a big account. Big account don't make me horny. I'm just
Hmm.
being honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like to pay bills with the money, and I like to do different things, with the
Hmm.
money. So that's why it's so important to me, And I just I wanted a skill, man, that just like the market is so dope because especially when you're trading with a small account, it's something that most people won't do, won't try. It's gonna test you. You're gonna really know if you know how to trade.
Hmm.
Putting a
Hmm.
small amount, a small account, you're gonna really, especially trading with options. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're gonna see if you really know how to trade and what you're doing because it tests what you preach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you
Mhm.
preaching small loss, manage to trade, buy here, do this, do that. It's gonna reflect in your P&L. And that's why I document. I'm showing people, I'm being transparent. I show them each and every trade, every way it go, just so people can see. And I realize that most people they want a large account, but an extra $1,500 a month sure would help what's going on right now. Because food thing got high.
Yeah.
Uber Eats is high. You know, everything has changed, man. So I'm the type of trader. I really trade for income, to be honest with you.
I like it.
It's
Okay.
gas money.
So you're
It's
trying
just
to pull money out of the market. I like it. I
I'm
like
pulling
it.
money out of the market. You know why? Because the market didn't pull so much money out of my ass when I first started trade. Let me get
Yeah.
this back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like
And then how many times, like you said, or anybody, any trader, this trade was up 150 bucks, you know what I mean? And you didn't take it because you were waiting for that reversal. You know what I
ah,
mean? How many times,
yes,
And that's why I always say break even stops, or at least I always say push your stops up toward the price. So if you get stopped out, you get
that's
stopped out with profit.
that's the
Or
worst.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
That's the worst when you up 250, 300, and that thing come against you, go against you, and you lose.
Yeah.
And usually what they do is this. They'll watch you go from being 300. So I'd have been here.
Hmm.
I'm up 300. I'm like, I should take this. I'm like, nah, this thing, it's gonna run today. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Now I'm down 700 when the dust settled. Now I'm wishing that I would have took the 300 or only lost $50 or $100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been through that before. So that's why. So everything that I really preach and talk about on Twitter is just it's personal experience, man. A lot of that is pain.
Hmm.
A
Hmm.
lot of that's pain. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say if the market was writing music right now, I would be a great R&B singer because it's pain that I went through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
It's pain, and so I see a lot of people making. I ain't gonna say making the same mistakes. I'm just gonna say traveling the same path that I traveled because they don't know. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to reach out to. But I'm kind of like they say, because I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people got destroyed in 2022 in this
Hmm.
market.
Hmm.
So they scared to put a large amount of money in the market. They want to know how can they start with a little bit. So by me starting with a little bit, it gives them hope. Like, damn, Chartz started with 500. I can come up with 500, whether it's out my savings or I pull it off a credit card, however they do it.
Hmm.
I can start. I just got to learn the skill, and then maybe I can get it to how I want it to get. So that's so I really look at myself as I'm really the small account goat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because most people are swinging with like I couldn't afford one share or one contract of Nvidia, so that ain't in my language.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
see people posting, oh man, I made 31,000 off of video and all that. And I'm trading with a small account. And so most people is trading with a small account. They looking at dude like, oh yeah, I get there one day, but I need to see what Chartz is talking about, because
And
most people don't have it like that. So it's like I'm the inspiration.
yeah, and is that, and then that's a good point, but then video too, is that how people, and it's got to be the lure that people get into out of the money options because you can't afford the in the money Nvidia. You can't afford the in the
Yeah,
money. Heck, even AMD, you know what I mean? AMD at the money's $400, $500. Excuse me,
that's true.
$5 contract. That's $500. And so you take something a little risky outside of, or what do you call it, out of the money, you know what I mean, because it's 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents.
No,
Yeah.
I totally get it and I understand it 100%. It's just that's a risk.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You can buy that out of the money NVIDIA contract. There is a such thing as sellers. There is a such thing as resistance.
Yeah.
And if you taking your $1,300 or $500, you bought two contracts of something. Soon as it hit resistance and start to retrace, you're gonna panic
hmm hmm
because now your $1,300 is now it when it pulls back, that
uh-huh.
account pulls back too,
hmm
and you scared, you're not prepared. It's almost like a criminal, right? You sit around and you say, we're gonna rob this bank, right?
Yeah.
Nobody talks about going to jail and court and getting caught. It's the same thing with entering trades. All they think about is green candles.
hmm
Nobody prepares for that long red candle with that wick.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It
That's good.
happens.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens. And so when that happens, you you sell prematurely, or you sell out of fear. You like, damn, I only had 1,500. Now I sold market order. I only got 900, right? And now you in my inbox messaging me, harassing me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, exactly, because
Yeah.
you had 1,500, you jumped in the video, you went long, you hit a level of resistance, you couldn't withstand that red candle, and now you sold, you got $900, and now you like, damn, Chartz started with 500. Let me see what he's talking about. You know, there it is there. But I've been through that, you
Yeah.
know. So
Walk us through this one more time, and then if you got any other examples of how you would trade, because you're only trading the first, like you said, the first few minutes after the first half an hour,
first few minutes,
first few
it
minutes, and
don't.
then even if so, you seen we see SPY goes up, hits resistance again, and it comes all the way back down. Even if you're seeing that, even though you're seeing that, you're still not touching that.
I'm not. I made my money.
That's okay. Okay, that's
So
fair.
so so
That's
so
fair.
so listen,
hmm
listen. Out of 500, this just being transparent, right?
hmm
Out of 500 times of feeling good at 10:30, right?
Uh-huh.
There probably was 509 times at 11:50. I'm socking myself in the head because I done went back up in there and gave the people back their money
Yeah. Yeah.
plus some.
Yeah. Man.
So
Yeah.
once I hit you, so I did a post today about that. And I said something to the effect of, hey, once I break up with a woman, I don't care what she do.
Uh,
So
uh,
basically, tying that into the market, after I get my profits, I don't care what you do.
even
Or
if
it
it
kept
runs,
running.
if it keeps running all day long, all day,
I
rest
don't
of the
care.
day, next 2 days, you made your money.
I made my money. You got to
Wow.
remember,
hmm
you got to remember, I set out to make $25 tomorrow, $30. So if I make 100, man, I done won for 3 days. I don't care what y'all do.
Wow. Yeah. That takes a lot of
It's, that's
strength,
discipline within itself.
discipline. Mm-hmm.
That's discipline within itself. So
Yeah.
after I hit you, after I hit you, I hit it. I at that time, to be honest with you, after I get my money and I post, I'm usually responding to messages where I'm counseling people. Like, you did what? How that happen? Oh
Yeah.
shit, you went through that. I ain't getting my ass back up in there. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm cool. And then you have to remember, right now, I'm not taking multiple trades. I only right now with the size of my account, I can only, man, I gotta take my best punch. And if you don't fall, I gotta run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I don't have enough buying power to sit out and fight it out with a bull and a bear. I don't, man. Look, I swung, I didn't knock you out. I just staged you. Hey, I'm cool. I jumped in my car, I'm gone. I can't,
Ah,
you
okay.
know. So um
Just give it. So walk us through this one more time. How would we trade range breakout? And if you have it, and if you don't have
let me
any
see.
other examples, that's okay
Let
too.
me see. Let me see.
But
Let me go to it. I'm gonna see if I, because I really don't have too many. Let me go to. I think this is IWM right here. This is IWM chart right here.
mhm.
So cheat real quick. Open. Boom. Price open right here. Let me set this line up right here. Okay. Okay. So now I will come in. This is gonna be my open right here. My open is orange, so I know what that is at all times, right? So I say,
Okay.
okay, I look right here and I'll gauge. Let's just say this is my low right here. I'm just do this real fast for you. Can I hit that? Can I get up under there? Let me put it right here. All right, so let's just say this is my low right here.
Okay.
My low, I'm gonna always make this red because I'm like, okay, if it break down there, I'm going with the sellers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my high right here. This is my pre-market high. Make this green because it's where the money at. We're gonna buy with the buyers. Boom. So first thing I do is I draw the green and the red line 5 minutes before the market open.
Okay.
So I got that range right there, but I'm on a higher time frame. Boom. Then I find out where we opening at. This is my open right here. So let me take this off. So then I start to take notes. Okay. I put opening right here. It's just an example.
Mm-hmm.
I put opening right here. Okay. And I'll put high right here. It's just the high.
Mm-hmm.
It's the high up here. And it's the low. So once price, we open right here. And damn, I don't want to do that. Let me see. We open right here. This is our opening right here. We come down. We test this area right here.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get back above the open, I could take that trade. I'm comfortable with taking that trade because one thing as about the opening, depending on how price moves, it then acts as support or resistance for me.
Okay.
So, okay, once we get right here and we break, this is about 30 minutes. These are all 7-minute candles.
Mm-hmm.
So once we break and we close above here, I know I'm gonna take some steam. This next red candle, I'm buying. That's the setup right there.
Okay. Okay. Well,
That's it right there.
you're even though the candle's red, but it's above your
It's
line,
above.
above the high.
Exactly. It
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
close below the high.
Did not
If
close
it
below the
closed
high.
below the high, I'm out of the trade. It's not where the candle go, it's where it closed. So
Okay.
given the fact that it's above the high, I'm bullish.
And
I,
then okay, so but then it comes back down again, or you by the time it gets up to the top, you're done. Where or what are you saying? I mean,
this
because it
right
comes
here,
back down. That's all I'm saying. Because it comes back
yeah,
down. Like
I see it. I
okay,
see it, right?
all right,
So
yeah,
this is
but it does not
why
close. It does not close. Like you're right.
exactly.
Okay,
This is why I buy too deep in the money for this right here.
okay,
For this concern right here, when it come back and test this level.
yeah,
See, when you out of the money, when they pull back like this, whoo, you down, you gonna run.
yeah.
You
It's
might be
bad.
down $90. I'm only gonna be down $30. I can stay.
How far? Okay,
And
so then you're in you're too deep in the money, and then but how far out the expiration?
oh, same days.
Oh, okay, okay,
I'm same days. So I
all
tell
right,
people when you
got it.
go too deep in the money, same days, it's like you're swing trading for a 50 to 70 cent move.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm listening.
So I'll take this right here. And when it hit this, now if it closed down here, I'm out of that trade.
Okay,
You close below that level. If you don't close below that level, we still bullish.
got it. Yeah.
I got all the way, I could take it all the way up to here if I decide to.
Mm-hmm.
I could take it there. You know what I'm saying? I would probably, to be honest with you, I would probably get out right here. And the reason why I would get out right there is because if I stayed in that trade, if I stayed in that trade, I would
Mm-hmm.
get out right there because that's where sellers start stepping in at that moment.
Yeah.
It
Mm-hmm.
reached that high, sellers was right there. So in my mind, shit, they can come back right there. I
Mm-hmm.
could shave my position. I could sell a few contracts if I want to and leave a runner or two. But by then, I didn't make my money. You got to remember, I only want $30 a day according to Twitter,
Yeah.
but I probably make 150, 200. I'm out to trade.
Yeah. Because you made
You
it. You
know,
made what you wanted. You made the two
I
hundred
made what I
dollars. You're done.
wanted, and it's you got to remember this is a business. So as I start to make more money and accumulate more funds, I start to scale the business by adding more contracts. I'm not going full port right now. So just yesterday, I did $119, I think, but I only had about 4 contracts. I didn't full port.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going full port. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to scale accordingly. So once I get to $1,000 in an account, that's really when the fun start. That's really when the fun start. I could buy 5 contracts. I mean, I could buy 4 contracts for 250 a piece. I wouldn't do that. I would just buy 2
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna buy. I'm not buying no breakouts. I'm gonna buy the retest. That's all I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I know my setup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know my setup. It's like this. I know when my wife mad at me.
Yeah.
I know her. This is how I know my setup. I know my trade. I know what to look for.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
just
doing it.
not out here willy nilly when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to trade, and
I
that
like
that
it.
takes certain types of discipline. And so trading, man, is really looking in the mirror. And I tell people, trading is looking in that mirror, and when you look in that mirror, it's going to expose you. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of self introspection because if you're listen, I tell people all the time, all right, bro, you can't stick to a diet plan. What make you think you're gonna be able to stick to a trading plan?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're enticed by other traders' gains.
Mm-hmm. That's that's good. I like that. That's yeah. You got good
I'm
analogies. Mm-hmm.
I'm not pocket watching.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the thing. I can promise you this, right? And by me being on here is a testament to what I'm finna say, right? Um, I could have $500 in my trading account, and I'm respected by traders that got $1 million accounts.
Hmm.
because my trading is sound. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you about my bruises, my battles, my losses, everything I had to go through, my struggles. It has not been peaches and cream.
Right, right.
That's just being honest. There's a dark side to trading that nobody shares. Nobody, and I think that's why people I resonate with the people is because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Man, this just didn't come overnight.
Right. No,
This
yeah,
did
you're
not.
right. There's
Hey man, this didn't come overnight, right? So it's not like it's not like I'm the trader like this. If I got a Discord, most Discords go like this. We over here getting rich. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We popping bottles, right?
hmm
My Discord gonna be like this. Hey, you liable to come up here and go through some things. But
yeah,
if you stay down, we're gonna get to the other side of the mountain.
yeah,
And that's what happened to me. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Your Discord
I'm
would be
listening
like,
to what
"Hey,
you're
we're
saying,
open." And then 14
man.
minutes later, all right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
come
You
in
know,
at 12 o'clock talking about, okay, let me see what Chart's got going on. How come ain't nobody
yeah.
on? Like what?
Yeah. It's like, and so I'm looking at this chart right now. I gotta do some annotating real quick. So I'm looking at this chart right now. So I got my high and my low. So the next thing I'm doing is who is that? Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Baby Dimitri at the door. Sorry about that. I'm okay.
We're gonna
So,
wrap it up. We're
all
about
right.
there.
So I'm right here. The first thing I'm gonna holler, I'm gonna put on here. I'm gonna put the selling. I gotta put what the selling is going on that on the chart,
Hmm.
right? And then I gotta put I gotta put my buying down here. This is. So I like to know what's going on. I'm gonna put my selling up. I'm gonna watch this chart and see how it go. So
Hmm.
this right here, this trade right here,
Hmm.
this right here, this candle right here would have shook a lot of people out of their trade.
Hmm.
Just this candle right here. If you was swinging or doing anything, just when they see this wick come down like this,
Yeah, that's pretty
it
brutal.
scares.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
didn't close here. It closed up here. Why you get out your trade?
yeah. That's a
You,
good
you see what
point.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Why you get out that trade? So I'll win and you'll lose. And I say, why you get out that trade? But at the same time, I gotta realize when they was in that trade, all they seen was this right here. And they was looking at their P&L and it was going through changes. So
yeah.
I have to realize that and have to respect that. And so trading is almost like, listen, man, I tell people all the time, you are a cat. Your open is the date you was born. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
awesome.
the worst shit you went through in your life, most painful things is your low.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And then you expand from your teens to your 20 years to your 70s, and then you close. So we are counters ourselves. So the way I look at the market is totally different,
That's
you
interesting.
know.
I like
So
that. Hmm.
yeah, so when if a person really sits down and really allowed me to dialogue with them and build with them, I can show them the market and from a different perspective to where it makes sense to you when you can, relate to everyday life. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. I'm
So
noticing that. Yeah, you got some good analogies. Hmm.
yeah, a lot of people don't realize really what they're in right. You know what I'm saying? This
Hmm.
is a market, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a market. This is like going to Ralph's or Walmart. You
Yeah,
know, it's buying at the price you want to buy it.
yeah.
It's
And then they're
about
gonna
getting it.
stop, and they're gonna stop buying when it gets too high. Yeah,
Exactly. It's just
yeah.
it's about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about knowing how to pick your fruit and if it's ripe, if you go, it's just, man, if they follow me on Twitter, man, you'll learn like you have to discern and read between the lines, but it's all traded related, you know what I'm saying? It's all traded related, so but man, I got a great mentor, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? And I got a great mentor, and like I still get mentoring to this day, and that's
Good.
another reason why I'm solid. So, for example, if I was trading the Strat, if the Strat was my style, you would be my mentor. I would buy
Mhm.
your course, but I would pay you for one-on-ones. And that's just what it's about. It's about continuing your education. And no matter, this market is something else.
It is. It is, and it
It's
changes. Yeah.
oh
Mhm.
my goodness.
And I think that's a big. I was talking to another trader. He was on the weekend shift back in 2021, 22, and we were talking about it. I think the COVID traders, the people that started before COVID, we saw everything go straight to the highs, and then 2021 everything went to the highs, and then 2022 tested everybody because everything went to the lows, everything, and then 23 was a little odd, and then because the tail end, because it traded sideways for a few for months, it traded sideways,
Yeah,
and then the end of the month, excuse me, end of the year in October, it just straight to the highs for 5 6 months, and
yeah,
and it's taken a lot of the people that's been through this for years. Like it wears on you when things look the same but they don't act the same, you know what I mean? And I think that's where your style of trading keeps you out of the mess. I think I would say it keeps you out of the mess because you have a range. This is where we're at. We're waiting the first 30 minutes. We're
yeah,
letting the dust settle. And then if they're going to take it to the highs, we're going to be with the buyers. If they're selling, we're going to be with the sellers. But once we get the money that we wanted to pull out of the market, we're going to take our profits and we're done. I think
yeah.
that's awesome. That's really cool. Opposed to
That's
just I'm going to be
and this
trading just to be trading. You know what I mean? There's no point. Um, I like that. I like that you have a purpose for being in the market.
yeah, and it's not man, it's not fancy. You know what I'm saying? It's because I'm gonna be honest with you. I know some strat traders, right? That do some shit, right? Excuse my language. That really like, and I'll be like, man, I might have to get their course. You know what I'm saying? Because I see the gains, I see the 200%, the 300%. I see them trading on these higher time frames, and it's nothing like catching a 312 to the upside on the monthly.
Yeah, and staying in it all month. Yeah.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
you're trading options, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and I think I might need to go over here, and you know, it makes you think about it, but at the same time, I try not to. Well, I'm not gonna style drift, and at the same time, it's like I have my niche.
hmm
My niche is for the person I trade, and I post games for the struggling trader, man.
hmm
I'm
hmm
I'm here for the person, man, that lost hope to shit. To be honest with
hmm
you,
hmm
and that's why I show you. So I'm gonna probably take this to 5 6 thousand. I'm withdrawing it. I'm gonna start over with 150, 200, whatever it is, just to give people hope. And it's not sexy when you starting off with 150 or $200 and you say, "Shit, I'm starting with 200, man. And I want the account to be at $210 tomorrow."
hmm Yeah.
What it does is it shows them that this can happen. You're exercising patience and you're sticking to your strategy.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. So
So that's what we're for.
that's awesome. If you can unshare your take that
Got you.
unshare the screen there. I want to wrap we got to wrap this joker up. We did go over time. We did go over time, but I love it. We had a great conversation. And some of the things I pulled out of this is we're number one, we're waiting for the first 30 minutes. I like that. We're waiting for the
30 minutes.
first 30 minutes. Uh Number two was have some rules. And that's where you use your support and resistance for having some rules and then with your it, number three was it's not where it goes, it's where it closes. It's where it
Exactly.
closes. That's awesome. It's where it closes.
Definitely.
Number four was two, at least two deep in the money, at least two on the menu, too deep in the
Yeah,
money. I
on the
like
mid.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's good. And then the last one was we're marking our pre-market high the pre-market low and then the opening, and then that's what we're using to base our trades off of. It goes if we start going above the pre-market high, that's where we're getting in because we're being in there with the buyers. If it goes below, we're selling. And then once we pull the market, once we get what we take our profits for the day, we're done. And ignoring the
Definitely.
rest of the market for the rest of the day.
Hey,
That's
we
gonna
don't
be the
care what
hard
she
part.
do once we break up with her.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you being here, man.
I appreciate you calling me, man. Help
Yeah,
me on.
this is
It's a
awesome.
pleasure.
So, do you have any kind of I know you do one-on-ones, so if you want to go ahead and promote anything you got, where people can find you, your Twitter name.
Hey, I'm charged, Mr. Opening Price. Just hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying? Follow me.
Yep.
Message me, ask me a question. I'm accessible. I'll definitely answer. I answer a question. You can send me a chart. This was going on with you, but what we're not gonna do is you cannot get with me and try to have me enhance your trading style. I'm not learning your style. I'm over here doing what I do.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because that's what
Okay.
people do.
Mm-hmm.
They'll they'll
Yeah.
they'll message me asking me about a fair value gap, and I'm thinking to
Oh,
myself,
yeah, yeah.
if you don't go get with an ICT dude and leave me alone, man, you know what I'm saying? Or
Go
like I
go
explained to you,
go trade that voodoo over there because I ain't doing it.
exactly. Like leave me alone, man. You know what I'm saying? Like so. I
That's
tell
funny.
people all the time, like I tell all the time, I'm like, hey, bro, I done made a lot of money and not knowing what a fair value gap was. Like this is new to me. Because in 2020, I didn't hear about a fair value gap. And I'm not saying, man, to each his own. I ain't tripping. But what
Mhm.
I'm saying is if you hit me up, I'm Mr. Opening Price.
Awesome. I'll have all.
ORB.
Yep. ORB. That's it.
That's what it is, right? I know a little bit of the strat. I know the combos. I know a 2-2-2-2-2 because I'm gonna ride that out to the
Yep.
upper to the downside. So a
Hmm.
2-2-2, we trending to the upside, 2-2-2 downside, bam, we trend to the downside. I get that. A 2-1-2 combo, a 3-1-2, a 3-2 red. I get it. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? So I got a man cave, right? And on my wall, it's so crazy, right? Because I got the strat combos up there and all that.
That's awesome. We'll
Because
get you there.
I got to be in the conversation, right?
Hmm.
But I never understood the broadening formations. I'm just being honest with you. I didn't
Yeah.
understand how to draw them. And so I was like, whoa, it's deep. But I see what can be done with it. It's a powerful trading strategy. I'm just being honest with you. It's a powerful trading strategy, especially on a higher time frame trading options. You
Yeah.
see some ridiculous gains.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You can. You can.
I,
But
I,
it's
I
like
seen
anything.
somebody post, listen, I seen somebody post a 11,000%
Mm.
on
Wow.
SPX, right?
Yeah.
And I said, damn, $1,000, 11,000%. It had me scratching
Yeah.
my head. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I respect what y'all doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really here just to get hope to the little guy. To be honest with you, and it's working for me. So,
Well, I
nah, I
appreciate it.
appreciate you having me on, man. You know what I'm
Thank you
saying?
so much.
You
Thank you
know,
so much.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. So we be on Twitter, man. I see you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So till next time, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. 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 No problem. Thank you so much for being on here. This was fun. Trading ORB. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I like to learn stuff and then apply it. And if it works, I'm gonna tell you. And if it don't, I'll tell you.
Hey, listen. If it don't work for you, right, I'm gonna get a refund.
No, that's good, man.
All
Thank you
right,
so
man.
much
Have a
for
good
being
one, man.
here, and I'll catch you guys later. See you,
All right.
man. See ya.
Thank you. All right.